Hey, I'm Witchcrafty. For the third day of my 25-day upload spree, I'm finally covering Five Nights at Freddy's, starting off with Freddy FazBear as he's the main antagonist of the series. This is my standing variant of the plushies, but I will be doing sitting ones also. Here's a list of everything you'll need. You can change the brown and beige to a softer colour to be more true to the official plushies if you want. Pause here if you need to. The pattern is available for free for my DeviantArt and also my Pinterest now too. It's the second link in the description. All of my patterns are scaled to an A4 piece of paper to achieve the same sizing result as in the video. The first thing you need to do is take one inner leg piece and one outer leg piece with the tracing showing, and starting from the bottom straight edge corner, sew up each long side of the leg to the point of the inner leg. Repeat the same process with the remaining two leg pieces. Place the feet circles so it aligns with the straight edges of the legs and join them to the bottom of each leg so all tracing faces up. Take the body back pieces and place them together wrong side up and sew them along the longest side only. Once done, take each front body side and join the beige belly pieces along the curve. Repeat for the other front body piece. Place both body front pieces together with the tracing showing, and using beige thread, join both belly parts together. Then switch to brown thread and join the small top piece remaining of the sewing line. Place the body front and the body back together, tracing side up, and join them along each side of the body and then the bottom straight edge. Align each leg to the body so that the seam aligns with the body belly seam and is centered on each leg hole, and sew each leg on. Once done, flip the body upright. Stuff it legs first then body second until it's firm. Take one inner arm piece and one outer arm piece and place them together, tracing showing, and join them along each side. Repeat for the second arm. Take each hand circle and align it to the straight edge of each arm and sew it on. Once done, flip it upright and stuff it. Repeat for the second arm piece. Pin these to either side of the body where you want them to sit and join them on using an invisible stitch. Take two button pieces and place them with the tracing showing and join them together. Leave only enough gap to flip and then flip it upright. Close off the gap with an invisible stitch. Repeat with the second two pieces. For the bow tie, take the rectangle piece and fold it in half so it's wrong side up, and then sew it along one of the shorter width sides and the longest width side. Once you reach the end, use the remaining shorter width side to flip it upright, then use an invisible stitch to close off the gap. Repeat the same method with the small tie piece. Once the small tie piece is flipped upright, wrap it around the rectangle to form the bow and use an invisible stitch to seal the open edge at the back and to secure it to the bow. Then, pin the buttons and the bow on where you want them to be and use an invisible stitch to join these to the body. For the head, take both head backs and place them together, tracing side up, and sew them along the centre curve only. After that, take both head fronts and do the same method as the backs, but sew only along the centre seam. Before we join the head, on the unfinished side, trace the inner ear pieces on to create a guideline for the two opposing side ears. Use this guideline to join the inner ear pieces on the finished side of the ears using a running or a backstitch. Place one earpiece with the inner ear and one without together, tracing showing, and sew them together, leaving the bottom straight edge open. Once done, flip it upright and stuff it. Repeat for the second ear. Begin joining the front and back head together. When you reach just before the top of the head, place the ear so it points inwards and so it will point to the front of the head and join it along the seam. Repeat for the second ear. Leave only enough gap so it fits the neck hole at the bottom and flip it upright and stuff it. For the face details, take each eye back and eye whites and sew the whites onto each eye in the centre using a running stitch and matching thread. Above this, sew the eye colours on. Then sew the pupils on in the very middle. And lastly, sew the glints on so that they sit on the right side of each eye. For extra animatronics, sew the lids above the eyes. Pin the eyes and brows onto the head and use a backstitch to join them on. You can always do this after you have the rest of the face pieces, just in case you aren't sure about placement. Take two of the mouth top pieces and place some tracing showing, then begin joining them together. When you've almost reached the end, flip it upright and stuff it. Close off the gap with an invisible stitch. Repeat with the second two pieces. Pin each whisker hole onto the farthest corner of each beige piece so that one group sits left and one group sits right, and use a backstitch to join them on. Once all holes are joined, pin two pieces below the eyes and use an invisible stitch to join it. Finally, for the jaw, place both jaw pieces together wrong side up and begin joining it. Leave enough space to flip and stuff it. Close off the gap with an invisible stitch. For the teeth, place two pieces together, tracing showing, and sew them only along the curve. Once done, flip it upright and tuck in the excess seam. Repeat for the remaining three teeth. Pin each tooth to the jaw and join each one on individually using an invisible stitch. Pin the jaw below the top mouth and join it on with an invisible stitch. Place 2 nose pieces together, tracing showing, and begin joining them. When you've almost reached the end, flip it upright and close off the gap with an invisible stitch. Pin this to the centre of the pieces that you joined to the face and use matching thread to join it on. For the top hat, take 2 bottom pieces that are wrong side up and begin joining them together. Leave enough gap to flip, then flip it upright and close off the gap with an invisible stitch. Take the middle hat rectangle and fold it in half, tracing side up, and sew it together along the shortest width side. Align the top piece to one of the sides of the tube that you've created and sew it on. Flip this piece upright and stuff it. Use an invisible stitch to join it to the centre of the bottom of the hat. And lastly, pin this to the top of the head between the ears and use an invisible stitch to sew it on. Pin the head to the body so it sits how you want it to be when finished and close off the neck hole with an invisible stitch. And that is how you make a Freddy FazBear teddy. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and comment down below on ideas like see me make next. And while you're at it, why don't you go check out my other videos? I upload new videos every single week. Thanks for watching, bye!